Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back again. This is Phil Bailey, Creative Director of Modern Masterpiece, and today we're going to be talking about the Patriot Memory 32GB USB 2.0 thumb drive. I'm going to be giving you all of my best ideas, all my best case scenarios, best case uses of thumb drives for entrepreneurs, college students, small business, big business, doesn't matter. I'm going to give you some of the tips that I use on a daily basis to help me in my business. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So you can use thumb drives to put a resume on it. You may want to go somewhere. Maybe you're just out somewhere randomly and somebody's like, hey, I want to hire you for this job. Do you have a resume? Oh, breast pocket. Yes, I do. Here's my thumb drive. You can actually have a thumb drive that is just a 1 GB that maybe you can just give it to somebody. Say, hey, this is my resume. Here's my business proposal. Take it. I have a few others. They're disposable, whatever. You can buy them cheap. But in other cases, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the latest or nearest Kinko's. I'm gonna go do like a Office Max. I'm gonna print out my resume that's on this thumb drive. You could be out hiking and you want to have contact info. You can put contact info on a thumb drive that is both waterproof, dustproof, and all that. So if anything were to happen to you, people would be contacted if they find the thumb drive, and hopefully they would. They've got thumb drives with carabiners to clip it onto your clothes. They have thumb drives that look like ink pens. They have thumb drives that are completely waterproof. Um, they have thumb drives that you can drop from 10-story buildings and they will be completely fine. You can actually install Photoshop CS6, InDesign, pretty much the whole Adobe suite can be installed on half of this thumb drive, where the other half of the thumb drive is used to actually save the files that you create with this Adobe suite and take that with you. You can install Dropbox on this thumb drive, and therefore when you save to this thumb drive, it automatically goes to the cloud, which means goes to the internet. So then you can use the Dropbox information from here on your tablet, and you can use that information on your laptop. And on top of that, you can save all of your files from the cloud onto this thumb drive, or from the thumb drive to the cloud. If for some reason that thumb drive goes away, you lose it, your information is still safely in the cloud. Now, I don't just recommend using one type of cloud system. They've got tons of free ones. You've got Dropbox, gives you 2 GB free. You've got Evernote, gives you 2 GB of free data with Evernote. You've got Google Drive. They give you 5 GB for free. You got Box.com. So many different services. There's even one called Sugar Sync, and those all give you some amount of gigabytes for storage, and you can use those to help in your file saving, redundant backup needs. What else can you do with thumb drives? You can boot a full operating system off of a thumb drive. I oftentimes boot Linux 64-bit, and then I'll run virtual Windows inside of the Linux because Linux is more secure, less viruses, cooler apps, very techy, and I'm a very techy kind of person. Uh, with the thumb drive, you can make it, oh man, what else can you do? You could store large videos. You can store videos, and maybe it's a raw video for a client. Maybe you're a film major and you want to put like a 10 GB raw video, raw 1080p, that somebody can look at their big screen TV and see your product for them before it goes onto a DVD. You can send them a raw version in a thumb drive. Uh, you can send software to a buddy via the mail, via a thumb drive, if, for example, they don't want to download things, or maybe they don't have the internet. But you can call them on the cell phone, say, hey buddy, what's your address? I'm going to send you some files, and you can install it on your computer. You can actually take your thumb drive and take your Android or iPad and actually put the thumb drive into the tablet with some of the modern day tablets and adapters, and you can then take the information from the cloud on your thumb drive, put it into your iPad, your Android, and there you go. You could even take it and put it on your phone in a lot of the same ways. Now this usually works with newer phones, not older phones. Newer meaning the latest version of Android, the latest version of iOS. They all have what they call OTG, which basically means you can put a USB drive or external USB drive. You could even hook up things like, you know, your Wacom tablet to your drive, and you can hook up, you know, Bluetooth keyboards and stuff like that to your devices, and you can do all that through thumb drives and adapters. Um, what else can you do with USB thumb drives? Oh boy, USB thumb drive, USB thumb drive. Well, you can actually use two thumb drives, put them in the same computer, and do what they call a RAID array, which means you can have information being read from both drives at the same time, which will give you a much faster data storage. So I've got 32 gigabytes here. If I had a twin, I could do 32 gigabytes and 32 gigabytes and use a RAID configuration and have 32 gigabytes, or I could have something like 16 gigabytes of very fast storage for things like a video library. Maybe I'll store some video files that I can edit. And so all the files I'm going to edit, I'm going to put on my RAID array with the two thumb drives. Maybe you're going to put a library of like Adobe Lightroom onto your thumb drive. It's going to be a fast thumb drive, so therefore you can read your files very quickly as you scroll through. You don't got to wait to load. They just kind of like show up, and they just kind of show up. Thumb drives, you can, wow. Now I'm getting stumped because I think I've listed some of my top, those are probably like my top uses, but you know, I definitely would you know, save all of my cloud to this. I save things like, oh yes, thank you, good ideas. And the idea just like came from the cloud somewhere. So you take your thumb drive, you go to a buddy's house, and you have a video or movie you want to watch. Like, hey buddy, you know, put it in your laptop, put it in your TV or whatever. Let's watch this movie that I got. I want to show you. Like, oh, my computer doesn't have VLC player. My computer doesn't have, you know, the latest QuickTime or whatever. You can install QuickTime, VLC. You know, you can install things like FileZilla for FTP, web, you know, uploading stuff to websites. You can upload, you could pretty much install anything to a thumb drive and take it with you. So you could just go with it, like just go, you know, ready to go. Put it in your, you know, breast pocket. You're good to go. So whether you save your files on your thumb drive or in the cloud, I have other videos that I talk about how to back it up and how to make sure you have, you know, this one thumb drive, but it duplicates itself over these different services, so that way you don't just rely on one particular source. That's what I recommend. I recommend a good USB thumb drive, but don't just rely on that one thumb drive as your primary source of all of your sacred, you know, files you've been working on for years. You're just going to be so hurt when that, you know, eventually fails, or it gets corrupted, or it gets stolen or lost or smashed or whatever, inoperable. You are going to be like, man, I wish I would have, you know, backed it up at least once or twice. So don't let that happen to you. Phil Bailey, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys for another little tech tip next time. And they're doing lawn work.